Hello and welcome to another weekly live stream. Tonight we're finally going to be putting some AI in the engine. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and get started. Let me click the little thing to go to the thing. Here we go. There's our superheroes. They help me keep the lights on. Yeah, it's good times. Yeah, because the Patreon page doesn't pull in much right now, but it is basically enough to cover the online server and almost enough to cover my domain costs and stuff, but not quite. Such is the life of an indie developer. Okay, so let's go ahead and minimize this. So yeah, I've been busy working on the stuff. Let's pause time. So like now they're all of these are configured using the new AI, which is why they don't do anything, they don't wander. But you'll notice they do kind of like walk when they're bumped into. The old AI would actually like change directions if you tried to walk in front of them because it had its probe sticking out there, and these don't have that anymore. I did hook up, we had the normal probe debug view stuff, and so I did hook that up so we can see where they're looking and where their probe is located, although I haven't converted it to be the actual full probe shape. But so right now it's like centered around them, and I don't think we can actually trigger it to do anything. I think it actually disables it while they're standing still, which is probably appropriate. Yeah, so before it was like almost impossible to just stand right in front of an NPC because they would always turn away from you. And now they don't. What I have hooked up so far is that the AI layer is set up such that I can actually do like live reloads of runtime modules. So I have one of those, and then I basically added, so I can actually show you the script real quick. Yeah, so this is the script. It updates the configuration of a basic NPC on a talking signal. It will just run this one action to face the position. So it's like really super simple, no activities or any of that stuff, just to test that all of it's working. And so if I click on this, it should say it was configured, and then she should turn towards us. Yep. So she does, and she had a little thing pop up. We can click it again. You can see pop-ups. The I was reconfigured from DSL, and I could prove that it's so I can say reconfigured from DSL. This is like domain-specific language, so that I knew what I was doing some transitions. So reconfigured. So it is actually live loading, which means we can develop our activities and stuff right in this script. We can kill the app if I want to like write a real action, or we can just develop them in line here. I have like the old signal code up here because I really, so let me back up for a second. What I want to get done tonight. What's the goal? So the goal for tonight, the end goal is to have, oh boy. That's not good. We don't really want that. So we're going to have to kill that logging. So let me do this. Let me go ahead and kill this, and then we'll I get that started rebuilding and reloading. It did a bunch to tramp down some logging, but apparently, see, all these are good. This, we don't want this. Okay, man, it is hot up here. Okay, so I'll run the game while we discuss what we're going to get done tonight. So goal for tonight, I want what I hope to have is activities for night and day triggered by test wand click. Night should go to their house, and random wander means they have to pick a house. Day should go to their day spot and random wander. Day spot is going to be what used to be their home location. Like home, not in the sense of where they live, but home in the sense where they always come back to when they're walking. Used to be, it's going to be the temple. So the quest NPCs always have one, but like we can still set the home. And so then, and being able to interrupt with a talk activity and go back to what they were doing. I think that should be pretty good. We'll have to develop a sort of random wander, which I want to do in a 2-phase. Oops. So random wander, 2 phases. First phase is the random steering with a small area. Well, random steering. Hold on. With configured to work in a small area. Random walk waypoint using path navigation to a nearby location. So basically, the idea being that their random walk would be wherever they're standing, they'll move like within a meter, just kind of randomly kind of idle in there with occasional pauses, just like now. They'll stand still, they'll walk a meter, stop, stand still, walk a meter, stop. But then like maybe every 10 seconds or so, they'll actually pick a new location to walk to nearby. And so we'll develop sort of nav functions to do that. I want to have, when the pathfinding is initiated, it has a target condition, which is usually like, I want to go to this location. We also had the target conditions, if you remember from previous live streams, where you can say, walk me to the nearest chest, and we give, so we give it a list of chests, and so it would try, in regular path navigation, and it would just, whichever one it encountered first, it would take us there. Well, I want another one that, given a square on the ground, pick me a space in there, maybe with the further constraint that as long as it's farther than 3 or 4 meters from me, we can make that a random value, so that she might walk over to one of these buildings, and then inside the house do a random walk to some location in the house that's at least 3 or 4 meters away from where she is, but otherwise we don't care. So whatever the pathfinding finds first is good, that kind of thing. Or we could just pick a random location in there, in that square that's not occupied, and send her there too. That's also reasonable. And then if she can't make it, she'll fail and just do it again. So that's the goal. I want the humanoid NPCs basically functional to where they were before, with the added behavior that they've started to build up their day schedule, which is night and day. Eventually there'll be more than that, right? There's going to be nights, the stay-at-home nighttime mode. There'll be the go to bed, sleeping mode, and there'll be the wake up mode, and so on and so forth, and the walk to work, be at work kind of things. But for right now, I thought night and day would be a pretty good thing. So like we could just maybe right click on her and have one of these be. In fact, we could probably get rid of some of these. No, actually what I think I'll do is make an AI menu, because there's going to be a couple things we want to do. So instead of reset home and maybe generate quest, we'll make a single item that pops up another menu with those lists of things. In fact, maybe that's not a bad way to get started. Let me think. Yeah, because because as soon as we want her to go to someplace specific, it's interesting that she didn't remember where she was looking, because actually I think none of them are remembering where they're looking. They all start up facing the same direction we face. That's probably just an initialization issue, because the same thing, the player doesn't remember which way they were looking either, and that's actually a long-standing bug. You're supposed to remember which direction you were looking in. Alright, yeah, but all of them should be, yeah, so. But right now, so here's what the script does. It, so the AI prototype, so it reconfigures this basic NPC, and then specifically reloads the configuration for just this one NPC. So when I restart the game, all of them will get the new configuration because they're all basic NPC. But while we're playing around, only she gets it, and that's kind of an interesting way to test the live reload versus what's already there. So if we do something and it starts screwing up, we can test one of the old ones since the last time we loaded and see if it's still working. I actually don't know who's online because I didn't pop up the little thing. It looks like we've got 3 people online tonight. Nice. Let me put that, and then we'll get rid of the Drosta effect. Okay. Boink. Okay. Alright, so let me get that menu configuration. If it takes more than like 10 minutes, we'll bag it. That one I have to actually restart the game for, so that's why I want to get all of those. Hey, how's it going, Fizzy Arthur? Are you extra fizzy today? Ha ha ha. Okay, so how do I want to do this? There is the somewhere in here there's a set home. I want to just kind of duplicate what it's doing. Makes wish I can just look for it. Nope. What was it? Reset home? Never mind. I want to do this. Reset home. Yep. Okay. Oh, that's in base NPC. Ah. Oh, sure. They all need it. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one there. And we're going to leave home location in because that's actually stored in the database. So we'll leave that the way it is. And then for here, for the NPC, after talk and all of the talk menus, instead of generate quest, we will have brain actions. And that will do a whole other prompt. How do I set up a right-click prompt? I can look at test objects because that's what happens if we right-click on something. Man, there's just so much debug crap in here. Context action. So this is kind of what I need to do. I'm going to steal it for a second. But what we're going to have then is in here we want, that's not going to work, and in fact yeah, so a lot of this stuff we don't need. We want to say def options equals blank blank. So we're going to make like a options add new, what are they? option self generate quest. Actually, I think that we can give two. I think we can give two. I just don't remember what the order is. So let me check real quick. And this should be, I think, in the action framework. Option. Yeah, display action ID. Target, display action ID. Okay. Target is self. Display, generate quest. And hold on. Action ID. I don't think it matters, to be honest. Action ID and then the parameters. Yeah, okay, no, it does. Okay, so action ID, generate quest. And I don't think we want any parameters. Okay. And I'm just going to verify that that works. Oh, why are we still walking around? Haha, that's funny. Oh, I think I must have hit tab while I was... I don't know. That's weird. Alright, so then once we get all the options set up... yeah, so we're going to generate quest. Once we get all the options set up, we would say... show the prompt, and we'd make it a list. So instead of like actually being a dialogue, although dialogue would be honestly would be better, like to have an actual window pop up that we could click around through, but it's just harder to configure. So we have the brain actions here, and so what we'll want generate quest, because that's one we already have. We want we'll want a pick house. We'll want a pick work, for lack of a better word, pick work, and then we'll want set night, set mode, set disposition night, I think I want to capitalize them. Disposition day. So set day. And I think that's all we talked about needing. And so then I just need to make sure that those are there. So basically those are going to call actions, pick house and pick work. And set disposition. Set disposition, and kind of you're getting a little tutorial on how the action framework works. And in this case, we want the string disposition. And so we'll just add some logging. Pick house. Pick work. Log info, set disposition, disposition, and we, rather than constantly re-look these up, where is generate quest? Way up there. Okay, that's fine. Trying to think, so what we will do is, rather than having to recompile again, I'm going to go ahead and hook these up. And I think self.brain.signal pick house, pick work, and set disposition Actually, this one we can actually just say set disposition, I think. What's the brain command to do that? Oh, why were you not here? Oh, disposition graph, yeah. Actually, yeah, that's fine. I'll have to fix that later. I think it's just set disposition at that point. So disposition is kind of like the general mode of the AI that they're gonna that's gonna have like a default activity that they use. They can be interrupted with other things, but they'll constantly go back to that. It's like their mental disposition, right? Oops, I want a disposition graph. There it is. So I think it's just activate disposition. Okay. And it'll get an exception if it can't do it. Activate disposition. Okay, so those are all set up. They should actually hook up to the AI. Unfortunately, we've got to restart the game in order to make those happen. While that's happening, I'm gonna I like to have items to check off, and so I was gonna say add some action menus for triggering dispositions, resetting, housework, etc. That way we get like to be able to check something off. Oh, I meant to talk about so one of the things that I did on Monday, it was either Sunday night or Monday. I had so while I write the game, I also work on the lore of the game that fits the game mechanics. Like there's certain game mechanics I have to use to make the world work, and then I like to be able to explain them with the world lore in some way. And I had a question about this, and I've taken to chatting with Google Gemini whenever I have these sorts of questions. And so in this case, like I had to start providing it more and more background. And I asked Gemini if I could just point it to a Google Doc, and it said sure. And so I was like, oh, okay. So then I spent like Monday night and part of Tuesday typing a whole bunch of design notes or cutting and pasting from other places into a Google Doc. Turns out Gemini cannot read a Google Doc. It lied to me. It hallucinated that ability. But I was able to cut and paste it in and get answers to my questions and so on and so forth. But what I did discover also is a web app called Notebook LM, which is basically like, it's by default it's configured as a research assistant. Okay, so generate questions is still in there, which probably we need to remove it. Brain actions. Uh-oh. Okay. But anyway, Notebook LM, it wants to run like a research assistant. You can paste in documents, you can paste in images and things, and then ask it questions about that stuff. But you can also reprompt it to not be a research assistant, but to be, in my case, a basically a design assistant. Because I had also put in a bunch of architecture stuff, a developer assistant and stuff like that. And so then you can ask it questions like, what do you think I should do for here and blah, blah, blah. And so that's been kind of interesting. So I've been in my copious spare time trying to populate it with more information so that it can answer smarter questions about what I should do. But it's been kind of fun. And I did write up a good deal of a document, and I'm going to continue doing that too, because I can just paste that into, or upload that into Notebook LM. 602. Yeah, so this shouldn't have been clicked. This should have been self. And we wasted a bunch of time. But I got to talk about that stuff. So anyway, let's try this again. Grr. And I need to remove this one because it's now covered by now in the brain actions. Okay, so this should eventually, oh, I had it blocked. So that's been fun. Yeah, because my problem is I get in these really long conversations with Gemini, and it starts to slow down and won't reload because it's not Gemini that's having the problem, but the browser just can't deal with the long history of conversation and all the weird, formatted responses and things. I first hit that because I had an idea for a screenplay, and I was hitting it up for plot beats for certain kinds of genres and stuff, and that got longer and longer and longer. And so I dabble in a lot of hobbies, put it that way. I think it's in a little bit important as long as I don't get too distracted to let my muse take me where it wants to take me at any given time. Mostly it takes me to Mythruna. Sometimes it distracts me with things like building the music studio in the basement and stuff like that. But it all comes down in the end, because if I hadn't done that stuff with the screenplay, I would never have thought to ask Gemini about my world lore questions. But basically, my question was, in a world where like all of these towns are supposed to be achieving some kind of balance, right? The entire world is based around this, and the economic system is based around the circle of guilds, which tries to maintain balance. Nobody's allowed to gain too much power, and then there's a whole backstory for why that was. That's already been thought of and decided like 10 years ago by me. I've got all that worked out. But then I couldn't figure out a good way to explain why, like, if everything is so balanced and perfect, why aren't like the continents fully populated? Why is it everywhere you go, if you hit like a coastal zone where a town would form, there'll be a town there, that kind of thing, while in the wilderness it's not like completely populated? What keeps that from happening so that you still have vast wilderness to play in as a gamer, but still have towns nearby wherever you go? And so Google's able to help me think of some ideas, and of course I rejected a lot of its ideas, but that was helpful as well too. All right, so let's see. Brain actions. Poink. Ah! Frick. See, we get wrapped up in this thing that doesn't even matter. No such property name. 602. Yeah, so here. That would normally be brain, so we'll just call this brain actions. Brain actions. So let me just double check. Unfortunately, the way this is set up, this stuff doesn't actually find its missing parts until runtime. Self should always be set to the object upon which the action is running. And we've got options. Okay, that should really be the last of the issues. Yes, it is quite warm up here today. Alright. If this doesn't work, we may abandon this for a while and work on something real, because I can sort of hand run stuff right from that script that live reloads. I don't necessarily have to have it hooked up to the actions, but I wanted to make sure all this stuff worked too. Setting disposition specifically. Come on, we can do it. Yeah, after playing around with the playground, the physics playground that we've been using, getting back into having to run the game, and every little error I was getting as I was trying to get all this integrated, I'm like, oh man, this takes so long to start up. Okay. Right click. Brain actions. Hey, look at that. Pick a house. Yeah. Brain actions. Set night. Should throw an exception. Yeah. Cool. Because it's going to say no such mode night. Oh, it still calls it a mode. Alright. Cool. Now let's see. We'll go back over here. I should be able to Let's see, brain, how do I set up, how do I add a disposition? It is, so as long as the game doesn't crash, well, that's the wrong brain anyway. As long as the game doesn't crash, we should be good to go with default disposition. Yeah, cool. And so disposition graph, add disposition. Okay, so as long as the game doesn't crash, we should be cool to just update everything from here. So we should be able to say disposition graph dot add disposition new default disposition night day, and that should get rid of that exception because now they have dispositions, they just don't do anything. And so for her, I should be able to say brain actions set night. Yep, doesn't crash anymore, but she would over here because it only reloaded the. Yep, cool, because it only reloaded the AI for this one character. So we're all good there. So we've got like basic dispositions. We're not doing anything with them yet, but this would be where we could set a base activity for daytime and nighttime. What I think I want to do first is make the I'm talking to someone activity, because whatever we had night or day would be interrupted by this activity I'm talking about. So we will, it should eventually be a real activity. Like in the code, but for now we're just going to develop it in the script because then we don't have to so I'm going to like look at an existing one. I'm just going to steal this for a second, put it here. So let's say we'll call this the talking activity. So this is the activity that is used. I don't think there's a default activity, unfortunately. Like an abstract. Let me just verify activity. Yeah, so in fact we've got an activity disposition, which is an activity that will automatically set the disposition. Set time. Why are you telling me this? No current action for layer. Okay, so somebody has a one of these rigs has a problem, but that's okay. That's another issue, but it's unfortunate that it's dumping all the stuff to the logs like that. But I don't think we have a base activity or abstract activity or anything, so we're going to have to implement all of the things, which is fine. And so we get to learn how to develop an activity together, which means I get to relearn how to develop an activity. And I know from experience that I will want logger log equals logger dot get logger. I get so used to having a log at my import. I don't think this is one of the default imports. Org.slf or j.star log info start context boink. Done. And we'll put a run in, but it'll only run once. And so then we've got a basic activity, and so instead of this, actually let's just do my other groovy trick, which is put these in if false blocks so I can turn them to true later. So this one we want to say brain agent. Oh no, I think just brain run activity. New talking activity, and see if it works. Why, oh why? Who is failing? I wonder if I run around a little bit. Looks like there's a stuck one over here. I may just have to get rid of that warning log. Yeah, because that's going to be super annoying. So that's something I need to debug some other time. Like, something is, one of these AI things is upset that set time default, no current action for layer. Yeah, so there's a bug somewhere, but we're not going to get very far if we have to parse through those warnings. So I am going to go into the character rig stuff, wherever that is. And who was logging that exactly? I think it was Anim Composer rig. Okay, I was worried for a second that it was a JME class, which would suck, but it's not. Where, oh where? Okay, so this is a log warn. So there's a couple bugs in how the AI is, not the AI, the animation is working right now. That I need to hunt down, because the other thing that is okay. The idle animation for the player is messed up at the moment. Like, it cuts off halfway through, and so it looks like she's just having a little spasm. She, at regular speed, leans to one side and then quickly just goes back, and leans to one side and then quickly goes back. But all of the other characters are working just fine, so it's very strange. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on. The waiting is the hardest part. Come on, we're burning daylight. Well, we burned all the daylight, but... So, how has everyone else's week been going? You have a productive week? Any crazy things going on in your life? Okay. For a second I thought she was bald. Like the way the bottom part of her hair was a little darker, it almost looked like she had like a Captain Picard thing going on. Okay, so we should be, so if I make her talk, I mean, pretty chill. But I mean, at least it's chill. Okay, so all right, we had no signature method get logger. Oh, logger factory. Okay, but at least we know it won't crash if I screw something up in that script. Yeah, at work we're going through crazy times because the customer is getting impatient about stuff, so they're kind of all in our business. So it's been a fun time dealing with that. And those of us who've been around the block a few times are sort of familiar with a reaction from a customer who is not satisfied with how fast things are going. Like, they tend to get in your business, whereas some of the people on my team are maybe, let's say, not as old as I am, and so haven't necessarily dealt with that before, and so everything feels extra intrusive to them, and it's going to be awful. But you know, I don't know. I guess with experience, you realize you were going to survive Auger Factory. You've got to still find a way to get the work done. At the end of the day, they're not going to care that they were the ones that made you slow down. Okay, so we should have gotten... Yep, start. So the talking activity started. It did its thing. Okay, so instead of... So the talking activity is going to want to run until we're not talking to them anymore. So the fun thing is we're already working within an environment where like these were already set up. So like when we stop talking, it already runs whenever we hit never mind. Never mind. We say goodbye, and say goodbye signals done talking. And so we can actually we don't say who. Oh, resolve entity ID session. Yeah, okay. So signal done talking what we're going to say. So let me just verify that we can have an on signal for done talking that takes a brain and a signal. Yeah. So done talking, and then we say brain say signal get value 1, and then for a second we'll add, well, no, I'll just log it. So we'll log the signal, and then we'll know. Okay, so the target, or the talker, is signal get value 0. Let me just verify that that's true. Yep. Okay, so we should... Oh man, my nose is itchy, like I've got like a spider web or something on the tip of it. That's like the worst. Okay, so we talk, blah blah blah, never mind. Uh-oh. Okay, well it did run something. No signature methods say is applicable for types entity ID. Did I get them backwards? Signal. Yes, I got them backwards. No, I didn't. The talker is 0 and this... Right? Signal. Values. The entity ID is 0. The text to say is 1. Which is what I have here. Log info. This is the nice thing about having it in this live reload script, is you can check all this stuff without having to restart the whole game. Alright, never mind. And then we get a big old stack trace because we still fail, but... Oh! That's not right. Crap. that implies that there's a bug in the signal code. Yeah, it's hard. Frick. Alright. Well, fortunately in Groovy I can access this directly, and so we will. But that's dumb on my part, and this is why you have unit tests, basically. So let's just verify that we can just do it like this. But it is nice that Groovy gives me backdoor access to the direct. Okay, so then never mind. It's going to crash again, but that'll give us a clear indicator. Yeah, okay, so there we go. Yeah, it's dumb. Okay, so def talker equals, and then def to say equals. Ah, crap. What? So to say. Alright, so now it should close out the conversation correctly. Oh, we're down to 2 people now, according to this. Okay, so if we say never mind, safe travels. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and have her generate a quest. So that should update her dialogue, because I want to see. I can try to find it for you. Let me know when you found it. Okay, close. Okay, so there is no. Okay, when did we signal talking, signal done talking, thanks so much. Okay, and then it left the dialogue up. Cool. Yeah, so it did. If we effectively look here, it has the thanks so much talking. Thanks so much, let me know when you found it. Cool, so that is hooked up correctly. And from this, because what's going to happen is this talking activity is kind of like a singleton. Once it's initiated, if like other players came up and talked, we would just add additional talkers. We can't replace the old one because the first player is still talking. Or in the case that it is a conversation that only one player could have at a time, the talking activity could make sure that that was true and interrupt the other conversation or tell the new player that they're busy. And so we'll look at the old talk behavior, which had some of this logic already. Yeah, conversers. Ooh. What did mob provide? Oh, location orientation. I can already get that. I don't need that. So we will have. We will want to reset the locomotion probably, but we don't necessarily need to do that yet. What is reset facing used for? Okay, so every time we add a converser, we're going to use the latest one. I think that's what I want to do. I want to have I can see the physics glitching over here as it vibrates a little more than I'd like. Okay, so whatever the case, we are actually always going to face the last player. So we don't need this. We probably will want. So we'll just want a set of the conversers. And the last converser. So public void add converser entity ID converser. Public void remove converser entity ID converser. Okay, so first, what happens is always we'll add it. Conversers dot add converser last converser equals converser, Conversers, remove converser. If objects equals last converser, then we'll just grab one. Last and else. Oh, so wait. If conversers is empty, last converser equals null, return. Otherwise, if we are getting rid of what the last converser was, we're just going to pick somebody to look back at. So this last converser equals conversers.iterator.next. Okay. Start's all good. We don't need to worry about that. And then every time we get here, we want to fork action def location equals. Oh, I see. In the Groovy, I can actually just get the location of if last converser equals null, then we're done. Oh, we don't. Yeah, hold on. That's right. We set the status. Status action success. Otherwise, and we return. Otherwise, location. So this is Groovyism. Last converser location, and we fork an action new base position action. Basically, we'll just do that every time. I'm going to add a wait here in a minute. So that so I haven't implemented a wait action yet, but we'll add a wait action so so they won't do this like every frame, but anyway, that should be. Oh well, we have lots of logs. Okay. Okay. Nope. In the entity, I do that all the time, missing the T. It sucks because I'm an idiot. Okay, so we haven't actually hooked that up to anything though. I think I can ask the brain for what its current activity is. Or I can ask the kernel. Which is what I want to do. Get. Oh no, reload. Ooh, I can't. I should be able to. Yeah, so I can't ask what the current activity is, which is unfortunate. That is something we're going to want to fix. Current context activity. I think I can backdoor it. Let's see. Let's try current context dot activity, and so I need to. I'm trying to avoid having to restart. So talking run activity. Let's actually look. Def current equals brain activity kernel current context dot activity, and actually we'll make sure that that's null. We're good. Log info current make it easy to see. Okay. Bump. All right. So what's going to happen? By default, I think it sets success if we didn't do anything. Okay, so this should actually just face and exit. We'll see. Let me turn up the lighting and freeze it so that we don't have to constantly be doing that. Okay, so there we go. Talk. Uh-oh. It did not. Okay, the current is null. We started the activity. Let me pause so that we don't move. Update activities, comments, run working. Run context, blah, blah, blah. Is forked. False, false. Didn't I fork the action? Done. Why didn't the action run? Pending working false. Status success. Is forked false, false, false. So for some reason we didn't. Oh, yeah, because we never set. So that's right. We just fell out right here because we never set the last converser. So we'll say if current equals null, current equals new talking. No. Yes. And then we will brain run the activity, and we will add this current talker to the. Who is the talker? Target. Talker. Add converser talker. Okay, so that should fix that problem. Okay, so then we'll try again. Nope. Signature of method, fork action. Okay. So I've done something wrong with the fork action. Let's look at action context, or not activity context. Yes, actually it is activity context. Oh, run action. There is no fork action. That's my bad. Run action. Here. Okay. Let's try again. Okay, ready, set. Yay! Okay, and so see, it's like boom. Unfortunately, it's never going to stop until we reset her because we don't ever. Anyway, so what we'll do is in this done here, we will say if current instance of talking activity. I needed to do that above too, by the way. A current remove converser talker. Okay, so that should close up that gap. But up here, if not current instance of talking activity, we want to interrupt whatever's going on with a new talking activity. Okay, so there we should be good to go. As soon as we stop conversing, it should stop spinning. So it's going to spin, 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 spin while we're in the conversation, which means if I were to somehow able to move, and we say never mind, and we have an error. So oops, come on, Stop spinning away. Okay. Alright, let's go back up. Okay, what's the error? No signature method, entity ID remove is applicable for AI prototype, line 17. Okay. So just reset it real quick so that it stops spinning down there. And then we'll go to line 17. Conversers. In fact, I think I'm going to help myself here by changing the idea. So changing these to talker, just to, because converser, you know, it's just for whatever reason last talker equals null, last talker equals the last accelerator equals, if the last talker and talker are the same. Okay, so last talker, okay, so that should hook everything up. And so if we, oh yeah, so see the physics engine was going crazy over here. Yeah, and like bumped into her as well. I think they were colliding with one another. Okay, so if I'm over here, I should be able to talk and she'll face me. And it's going to spin away until I say never mind, safe travels, and it stops. Cool. All right, so that means that the way it's set up, if she was talking to me and another player came over here and talked to her, she'd face them. Hey, how's it going? I'm Creasy. She would face them, and if they stopped talking to her, she would face back to me because I'm still in a conversation with her, kind of thing. So that's good. We've got that basically hooked up. We want to add a wait action. So I'm going to really quickly create a wait action because I don't like the fact that she's spinning every second. I think that this is really easy. I think let's add a quick wait action. Implement or and all that's good. We want the duration and we want the timer, and so we will do this and double duration, so that's going to be in seconds. This duration equals duration. Yeah, we'll do that too. And then we don't care to do anything here. Probably we want to set a locomotion, but that's a problem for later. Yeah, let's just say timer equals duration. And then timer minus equals step. If timer is less than 0, return working, or return, yeah, otherwise return working, return success. Otherwise return working. Okay, so now we have a wait action, so we should be able to say if context is forked, return, otherwise context run action new wait action. Let's just make it 5 seconds to see what happens. Wow, compile that fast, no worries. Okay, so go over here and she should face us. Talk. Oh no, it's spinning away. Oh, because it's gonna, no, it shouldn't run again while there's an action in place. So we run that one. Oh, because we don't check and she's already facing. So, I mean, the way that happens is that the activity run is run every frame. And face position action is not set up to kill itself immediately. I'm not even sure actions can, to be honest. It could be that the action is always going to run, which is unfortunate for what I want to do here. So somehow I need to see if face position is already done. Yeah, because we can't kill ourselves already in this, even if we wanted to. So we've got to see if we're already facing the position. I think what we can do is maybe not that way. I can't. Let's make a function for checking is facing. Is facing. Entity ID source. Vec3D location. Yeah, this is the only one we need right now. So def start or loc v equals source dot location rel equals location dot subtract v. Yep. Def dir equals source orientation mult vec3d unit z. If dir dot rel is greater than 0.99, return true, return false. Why didn't you just put that in the return? Because I want to be able to log in here if I need to. So let's just really quickly in here, let's just put a, oh, I can't. This is going to have to be in this. Okay, that's okay. Then I can write it as a real method anyway. So if we're already facing, public boolean is facing location, and we'd actually can just use the agent location then. This is actually better, to be honest. Get agent, get location, location, get agent, get orientation, blah, 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 blah. Let's just log info rel dir. Okay, so I've talked about this before, but when you dot one vector with another, it like superimposes one on the other, and so basically we're saying, actually this is not correct either, because we'd have to normalize this guy. So the only way the dot product could be greater than 0.99 is if those guys are really like almost on top of each other. If they're on top of each other, there'll be 1.0. Any little discrepancy starts to make it project less. I just don't feel like bringing over the whiteboard just to show this. So let's log info is facing location. Alright, let's see what blows up. Is it going to blow up? Let's see if it blowed up. Alright. Let's move over here so she starts to face us. Okay, so I should, is facing actually show the result. That's not what I want. I want to show the actual is facing call. Ah! I don't need to show the location. Okay. Let's try this again. And this time, I will just let this go. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, I stopped. Oh, no, we got a... Okay, cool. Get agent is applicable for argument types. Big. I guess activity doesn't keep track of the agent normally. So we have to keep track of the agent. Oh yeah, 'cause there's no abstract anything going on here. So then when we start agent equals context, I think the activity context knows the agent. Yep. Agent, get agent. Trying to make this easier to port later. This dot agent equals blah blah blah. Alright, so then we can change all of these to agent. Secret agent man. Secret agent man. Okay, never mind. Now face me, young lady. Face me now. Oh, nope, something else is wrong. Subtract. It's applicable for... Wait. No stop moving. No signature of method subtract. Vec3d subtracts applicable for argument types. Vec3d. Oh, subtract. It's the typos that get me every time. So, and like I look at it and go, why? What's wrong? Okay, let's try again. Okay, so boing, 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 boing. Is facing false. Uh-oh. Relative is that, which is mostly in the Z. ID would highlight those typos. Yeah, I know, and be super slow. And that is also... Okay, so let me print the dot product. Maybe I'm being too selective. Never mind. Okay, so what is the dot product? So then dot. Actually, in Groovy it wouldn't know. In here it wouldn't know. The IDE would have no clue. In Java code, yes, I agree with you. It would know the difference, but in here, it doesn't really know what locations availability of methods is going to be until it runs it. Because in Groovy, you can add methods to classes at runtime. So, I mean, it might tell me, but then it would be telling me about so many things that I would have ignored it because it's just going to get a whole bunch of false positives wrong. In fact, when I develop some like quick Groovy scripts at work, that happens all the time. Like I just ignore the little underlines because they're wrong because it doesn't really know what the type of that is. So no free passes today. Probably I'm just... Oh, not real. Rel. Probably I'm just not using a low enough threshold. Let's see. Let us see. Nope. Okay, so let's pause you. Is facing false. The dot product is 0.98. Yeah, so we need to like 0.95 is probably close enough. Never mind, young lady. Alright, 0.95. So let's just make it 0.95, which will be close enough. Probably the facing steering is limiting that, so I probably should just make them the same. But anyway, okay, let's try again. Boink. Okay, so the sheet. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that. Yep, is facing true. And we should have gotten a few is facing falses at the beginning. Hopefully Is facing false. How many is facing true? Okay, so let's then add the if not is facing location. Then we will run this and return. Then I don't need to check the forked. Otherwise, we will wait for 5 seconds. Okay. This didn't really have to be done, but it's part of the learning process of how the AI works for me. Okay, so she should then face me, and we should only be getting a tick every 5 seconds. 1,002, 1,003, 1, 1,002, 3, 1,004, 1,005. Yep. 1, 1,002, 1,003, 1,004, 1,005. Yep. Okay, so we get a tick every 5 seconds, which gives her a chance to also look and see if I'm even still close. Like if for some reason, if I did that, actually it always, so I must have always made sure that it's pretty good about detecting when we're done talking. Boink. Ah, she turned towards me. Yeah, nice. Okay, so that's working. Safe travels. Thanks, Lindahl. All right, good times. So we basically have talking set up. And it's set up in a way that once we get these dispositions working, they will interrupt. So let us start developing the day activity. Implements. Oh boy. The typing foo is getting weak now. Always good when you're typing in front of other people. All right, let me just save myself a little trouble. And this is a place where the IDE could have helped me out, because in IntelliJ I just could have said add override and just, or I would have right click and implement all the methods, right? Public, boink, 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 boink. And let me go ahead and get my logger set up as well. Man, that package-friendly logger that I do, static logger log, that's a habit I've got to get out of. I've done that for now. Well, as long as I've been using loggers. I don't know where I picked the pattern up either. So it's probably been 25 years that that's embedded. And of course, it's in my template too, so whenever I create a new file, it automatically puts it in like that. I think there must have been, like, early on with the loggers and the way Java friendly access works with inner classes, I suspect that early on there was a performance reason to use the static logger instead of private static logger, because you may not know this, but if you were to create a inner class like this, Java makes a whole separate class, and any of the accesses it wants to the outer class, if they're private, so this inner class has a reference to the outer instance because it's not a static class. Anyway. So there's a hidden reference to parent night activity, right? And so if this guy was to access log info, if log was private, it would require special access, and it adds an internal method to night activity that nobody can see. It's hidden. It's in the bytecode, but not in the code, right? So that inner class can access the log, and so like every time you access log, you're not just doing a regular field lookup. You're doing this private access thing, and so I think that probably the original pattern was that making it friendly meant that it didn't have to do that. But I think probably in the last 25 years that Java has gotten smarter about that, and it doesn't need to be done anymore. Point being, it's a pattern I should probably get rid of. So let's just do done here. Start. Go ahead and steal here. I want to see if dispositions are working correctly. Okay, so we're going to set up this, and then so in here, we will set up an activity disposition for new night activity. Activity. Respect my authority. Yeah, and then we'll assume I did that all correctly and change these to day. And then if we reload and we don't, we failed on compile already. Could not find matching constructor for activity disposition. Yep, probably that's true because I didn't look it up. Activity disposition. Brain. Why you need brain? Because there is no... Yeah. Dispositions are dumb. They don't get an initialized. There's no life cycle for a disposition, so we have to pass the brain. That's fine. Okay, did it compile this time? No. New error. Error running AI blah 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 caused by no such property brain. Say what? Oh, it's just the delegate. That's right. Yeah, so this has got to change. I got to add a special helper method for creating dispositions so that this doesn't happen. The API is still evolving. Okay, so it ran that time. So we should see these go start done. If I right click on her, oops. I right click on her and I go to the brain actions and then set night. We should see one prompt blah blah blah. Trigger prompt. Oh, that's the one I just did. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Okay, trying to parse this. We open the menu, player book. Okay, so that's even further back. So let's, all right, let me add a bunch of stars and stuff to these so we'll see them a little better. It's me, Woozy, if you remember. Kind of, yeah. Operating under a pseudonym today. Alright, so let's try this again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Things are broken. Okay, that's working. Right click. There we go. I must have been moving. How have things been? I don't remember changing it, so I don't know what that's about, I guess. Things have been well, busy, trying to get all this stuff working, and like excited to have it in the game now. Here we go, start. So it's, yep, the night activity started. And night activity was success. Yep, so it finished. And so essentially we want night activity to run forever until it's time to do something else. And so how does that work with the dispositions? Let me see. Activity disposition. Cancels it. Perfect. So we can actually just make this activity context set. What is it? What is it now? Set working. Okay, so now they will run forever until canceled. And so we will add a bunch of something like this. And we will make it. So now we should be able to see them shift from one to the other. Okay, so let's right click on you, go to your brain actions, set night. Okay, so yeah, it's running forever, and we've got the activity kernel logging way too much information. So we'll probably want to add a wait action in there just to keep that from happening. And then if we set it to day, it should cancel the one and do the other. But we won't see that because of all that garbage. Okay, so let's we want to run an action that waits so that we get less garbage. Okay. Right click, right click, right click. Okay. I need to, so basically it's because she's sliding back and forth. It didn't want to let it go. Okay, so she is started and she is night activity's running. Night activity's going to run. Wait action, it keeps running. In fact, because of that, okay, anyway, let's switch her over to day. There we go. Brain actions, set day. So we should have seen the one finish. Yep. Done night activity, start day activity. So she can switch between activities. That activity kernel crap is going to get really annoying though, but that's okay. We'll just leave the wait in there for now. Okay, so while she's running this, I should still be able to talk to her. Talk. Okay, so it killed that action and started the talk action. Yep, so we can see that we got the talking. The current action was the day activity, and so we canceled day activity, and we started the talking activity. Okay, and then whenever we finish the talking activity, never mind, it should have started the day activity again. Yep, so finish that one. Yep, so the talking activity died, success, and now it restarted the day activity. So all of the modes are set up. They don't do anything, but I think we've got some stuff we can check off on the box. So this is done. This is done. Oh, we gotta like set our green, right? That's the fun part. Okay, we don't have that. We don't have that. Being able to interrupt with a talk activity. Oh, so that's working too. And this is working too. Okay, so we're good there. What we want to set up next is pick the nearest house as the night spot. Pick the nearest temple, warehouse, etc. as the day spot. Okay, so we want to, so this is a little weird, and maybe I won't, I kind of like, it drops us down a rabbit hole, but maybe it won't be so bad. Let me see. I don't want to spend too much time. We got a half hour left. Actually, let's, yeah, we're gonna have to pick some spots anyway. Hopefully that goes quickly, but let's see. Okay, so then what I can look at, I should be able to look at how the quest NPC finds its quest. Find okay. Oh, I was about to pull out a piece of gum. Probably should not. Okay, so let's steal some things from here. Oh, wait, what we can look at is how they find their home. So when we generate a quest giver, how do we set their home? Town poi. Ah, here, exactly here. So yeah. All right. This might actually work out okay. Where's my file? There it is. Got too many things open. Okay, so what we want to say is on signal, because we set up a special signal for, well, let me just put this up here real quick. When we hacked in the menu, we set up a special signal for pick work, pick house. Yeah, so signal pick house and pick work. On signal pick house, on signal pick work, brain signal. Oop. And so we will say log info pick house. I want to make sure this is just configured correctly, and because we got too much logging. And then we'll temporarily comment all this stuff out. Actually, I don't need any of it, so I'm gonna like, ugh, crap. Hit the wrong macro. Okay, so then we should compile. Now, it goes so fast. I'm so used to, how do we keep getting closer? Like, I think every time we reset her, she moves a little closer. Or I'm moving closer. That could be true too. Or we're all both sliding. She is sliding slightly forward. And I might be sliding slightly forward too. The physics is not actually correct for the new characters for some reason. Anyway, so brain actions, pick house. Okay, so it is calling our pick house code. Cool. All right, so then we can dump a bunch of stuff as we go. Okay. So we can say pick house equals agent. Is that what I want? Does a brain have attributes? Did I give a brain attributes? No. Okay. Well, then I'll have to use the regular entity attributes, which is not a horrible thing. Anyway, that's what this was already using anyway. We have to find her town first. What town are we in, right? That's what we need to find. And so that will also be in the quest giver, I think, because resetting the quest has got to know. Generate quest. Find random fetch quest target, mob loc. Find current poi. Inside. Okay, so let's check this code. And so we don't want that. We want def town poi equals find current poi for def loc agent location. Town poi equals null. No town near me. And we can't do anything else because we're not really def town. So we can actually say return. Hopefully this actually works. And then def town. Okay, let's see if that works. Well, first of all, I need to pass the agent. Actually need to call the method pick house brain agent. And we'll go ahead and set the pick work one up in a second. We'll combine the two in a minute. Actually, so I can pick work. Just kill this for a second. Alright. Recompile. See, she's already back up to me. Brain actions. Pick house. Oh, bad things. Total badness. No such property result. Yeah, I thought that was going to kick my butt. Town poi. Here we go. I get it going too fast. Oh, there we go. Brain actions. Pick house. Oh, still not happy. No action environment is current for... Yeah, that's true. Our brain config stuff is running outside of the normal action environment, so they can't actually call any of the normal scripted stuff, which is probably fine. But that does mean that instead of doing cool things like town name, I have to do something like this and hope for the best. Alright, let's try again. Yeah, that's going to be a problem that everybody is sliding all the time. Big work. Okay. What happened? Oh, I picked work instead of house. And yeah, sorry. Brain actions, pick house. Okay, so we are in Blunsdown Creek, which I think is true. Yep, Blunsdown Creek. Cool. Alright, so you're all set. So how are we getting the mosquitoes in the stupid house? I gotta make sure all the doors are closed. Alright, so we found a town. And so once we have a town, is it the poi we want? Let's say get point of interest town. What is that going to? Oh, so that's going to get a. We may be able to bypass that because we've already got the town poi. But let me just double check. Wow, I can already feel that on my that mosquito bite. Frickin' mosquitoes, man. Alright, come on. Brain work. Actually, I don't think we need to do anything else. Let's just go with it. So I think we've already got the town poi. Oh no, do we? Town poi feature ID. Yes, we do. Okay, so then we probably didn't need the town part. But we could... Town poi. You were the poi for that mosquito, but now it's null. Exactly right. Exactly right. So those town poi children each log info it. Let's just see what the children are. But now it's like once you have one bug on you, it's like now I feel like bugs all over me all the time. Pick house. Okay, let's see what's all in there. Oh, we got, oh, that's cool. Nifty. Awesome. Okay. So we want to find the nearest thing that starts with building. And then for the other, we want to find the nearest thing that doesn't start with building, basically. So let's do that. Okay, so def double min distance equal distance squared equals double dot positive infinity. A def best child equals null. Okay, so for each one of these, if the type so def dist double dist squared equals it location distance squared loc. If dist squared is less than min dist squared. So right now we're not filtering on any type. I just want to see what the closest and min dist square equals dist square best child equals it log info best child distance math square root min dist squared. All right. Yep, there we go. Okay, let's try again. Brain actions, pick house. Uh-oh. That's not good. Actually, I'm going to turn off the map so that we can just see her. Okay. All right, what's failing? What's failing? Come on, we want successes, not failures. Distance squared, vec3i. Yeah. I need to add that because it's really annoying that vec3i and vec3d can't have distances. So I need to do like 2 vec3d here. It's annoying as Rick. All right. Okay, pick house. Yep. Okay, so got a best one this time. Best. Building 3, distance 20 meters, and it's at 24728, 20440, 24728, 24728. I think that's over here. 24728. 24728 should be this corner, maybe. 24728, 2440. Yeah, it's this building here. We're on the corner of its plot. Cool, it's all good, man. This game's running slow. Yeah, everybody's about to fall off their little ledges. All right. Yeah, I gotta fix that slow creep. Probably just need to clamp down small movement. Okay, so she picks a place, and then I think I have, yeah, down here I have utility methods if we found some place. Find insert info. Where did the target? The target were sorry, I'm just paranoid about mosquitoes now. The structure has an entity, and then we find an empty cell in that structure. But I think That may be more than we want to do, but let's just see it. Find in a log info. Town found structure. Spawn loc. Trigger info. So then we got the town. We got the spawn loc. Trigger info. And so this is really we want not target but best child. Just make sure. Yeah. Okay. That's all good. We've already got loc defined. Def. Yeah, we'll leave this blank for now. Because the find empty cell will be going there, and we want to find the empty cell. Oh boy, crap. I left the log paused. Okay, so now right click, brain actions, pick a house. Uh-oh. He was unhappy with something. Oh no, we just had a slow query. Alright, so then we found the entity. It is at that location which we walked to, and its trigger is that it says it's 12 by 14. Sounds about right. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to store that entity ID with the NPC, and there's a way to do that already. Let's look at the standard mobs. So we say reset home, and that's going to, yeah, self location relationship home. Okay, we want reset home up here. So this is what we want to do. Yeah, we'll do it the same way. And I'll talk about what this is doing as I set it up. So we're looking for an existing relationship. Entity. So we're trying to find an existing relationship with the agent as the source, right? And if we don't find one, we're going to create one. I really should have some helper methods for this. Actually, we can just say create entity. Okay, so that's that part. Then I think we need, if this location already has a town or something. No, because we're not setting create entity location. Let me look up location relationship real quick. There's different types of oh wait, was this? Ah, crap. Oh, location relationship. There are different kinds of relationships, and I think I want to use a different kind. Because I don't want to relate to the... Oh, I guess... it does relate entities together. And we can just ignore the location. Yeah, let's set the location to the corner. But I thought that there were other relationship types. Character relationship, yeah. Let me just look real quick. Relationship. I think this is okay. Even though we don't really care about the location, I guess it's one thing we wouldn't have to look up later. so we already have the spawn loc. That's totally fine. So we'll use that. And so then we've got the poi entity, we've got all that stuff. And so we want to say relationship. And we're set location, relationship, create entity location, agent pointing to the best, the structure. Okay, structure at the spawn loc, and we'll call this house. Okay. And to be honest, that is another thing we want to filter on. I'm surprised we get away with this. Like, how does it not overwrite? Oh, I see. Because we only have, because it's a relationship between these two places. But we're not, yeah, so that's actually, I think this is a bug in the original code, because there's no way we wouldn't overwrite. Essentially, we can only have one location relationship, so that's probably a bug. Anyway, we're going to replace it, so it's not a big deal, but where was that? That was in the standard mobs.groovy. Yeah. So, like, we're only looking for an existing entity to anywhere. Yeah. She's, like, right up on us now. Location relationship. So, type filter. Source filter. Yeah, so we want a type filter, basically. Type filter. Type filter agent house. Okay. Log info creating house relationship. Okay, so we're good there. Okay, and so that would make the relationship. I'm gonna keep that around for a second. Oh gosh. She's like right up in my face. Why you all up in my business? Come on, back up. Back off. Back off. Get out of my business. Alright. Let's try it. So should right click. Brain actions. Pick house. Oh. So if I pause the logs, we gotta wait a second. Ah, crap. I got the errors. Type filter. I think it takes an entity ID probably. Or entity data, yeah. Poop. Okay. So type filter. I need to make a alias for that so that I don't have to do that. Alright. Come on. Come on. There we go. Brain actions. Pick a house. Any house. Okay, so something's still wrong. If I can get her to pick a house and pathfind to it, that'll be awesome. Type filter is applicable for argument types. Character agent try. Ah, frick. Yes. So this needs to be entity ID. Not the best. Not my favorite. Okay. Talk. Oh, no. I mean, right click. Brain actions. Pick a house. Something's still failing. Okay. Hey. Oh, no. That's a query failure. Okay, so create house relationship. Okay, so shouldn't do it again if we check. Right click. Right click. Right click. Come on. Brain actions. Pick a house. Okay, this time it just set it without creating one, so cool. Now we should also be able to set, okay, let's let's get location relationship. Let's make some easy source entity ID source string type set location relationship. Cannot type relationship equals entity ID source entity ID target string type. Okay, so we'll just neaten this up a bit. Get location relationship find return find entity source type, and then similarly we're going to want to relationship get location relationship relationship source target source type. If not relationship, create the type relationship source target. Oh crap, we need the location too. Vec3D loc type. Okay, so at least we've like consolidated that, and we'll real quickly fix this stuff too to just say set location relationship badoink. Okay, so that should be okay. It should have remembered the previous one. It shouldn't create another one. I'm not going to test it except for in process. So what we will do is down here we started to create a day activity. Yeah, so it's the house we picked versus the night activity one. Okay, so oh crap. Yeah. So because the way this is set up, we're going to need class location helper def. It's a scoping issue. But those classes won't be able to access that. This is something I'm very familiar with the prototyping code. So now we can say location helper dot get so def any ID. What did we return? We returned the relationship. Yeah, that's not what we want. I guess it is. Oh no, we're returning the entity. We want to return. All right. All right. So it's not. So it is the entity ID. It's the entity ID of the relationship. Context.agent.entity ID house. Right. That's the type. Log info rel location relationship. Let's see if that works. Error. No such property. Get location relationship for class location helper. Something I did wrong. Missing property. No such property. Get location relationship for class location helper. Oh, static. That's better. Okay. Oh, you're right up in my business again. Okay. So we should be able to set her into night mode. And we should have, yep, so she got the, yep, so she's got a house. Okay. Okay, so now we can make her walk to the house. And then I think that's where we'll end it. So let me get her to walk to the house on her night activity. So what is the walk to nearest object? No, there's another walk. I hope that's not the only one I implemented. It is. Okay. Poop. Okay, but that's okay. We can still use it. I think that's why I did it. It's because if you, it is the same as a. So let's say private walk to nearest object walk home, and then so walk home. This dot walk home equals new walk to nearest object, and I don't think we have to give it anything but the min radius. Yeah, so we'll just say get within a meter. That's fine. Walk home dot add target. Add target location entity. Okay, so location, excuse me, add target. Let's change this to be rel entity, and then we can say def rel equals this rel entity. Okay, so then rel, and then location relationship has target and location. All right. Add target. I think it's location. So rel location rel dot target, and then in here we want to say context. Fork walk home if context is forked return. Okay, so walk home should be smart enough to know. Alright, let's see, will she plot a path and walk home? I'm excited to see. Are you excited to see? Let's see what fails. Come on. Come on, baby. Brain. Set night. Oh, she's plotting a, I think she's plotting her path. Yep. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. Did you get stuck? Why'd you get stuck? Oh no, she failed. I mean, she tried. I think she got stuck in the flowers. I'm not sure the physics engine is smart enough to skip, not the nav queries. I'm not sure they're smart enough to skip the grass. But let's see. Let's bump her out of the grass. And let's see if she'll try again. Let's first set it to... Yeah, thanks guys. Let's first set it, oh crap. So let's first set it to day. Okay, so change the disposition. I need to add the disposition as part of the debug information. Alright, set night. See if she does it again. Uh-oh. Yep, there she goes. Yeah, so she's getting stuck on the grass. So let's try again. Okay, she's out of the grass now. She should be okay. Let's try again. Right click, right click, right click. Brain action. Let's see if I can go straight to night, if she'll do it again. Because that activity should have failed, to be honest. Okay, nope. So we'll try, set her to day again. Set it to day. Set her back to, maybe that's, oh, maybe this is the corner. Come on. There we go. Brain actions. Set night. Nope. She was just caught up on the grass. You're going to get caught up on the grass again. Yeah. So what it is that her probe, oh, she figured it out. Her walk probe is, it's not the, I don't think it's the physics engine query that's doing it. The nav function query. I think it's her walk probe is getting confused by the tall grass. But she's trying to do it. We got 7 people at the end to watch that success. So she's trying to get over here. So I just need to make it so that avoidance probe is smarter about grass. And then the idea would be to have her pick a location inside to walk to, so that she, and actually it was pretty fast, so that she'll navigate through here and find a location in here. And then because I don't have beds and sleep and stuff like that, in the short term, she'll just pick random places to wander in here every so often. Man, something's going on with the networking here. Something is slow. Oh, I think, yeah, I might be on a border here. Let's check. Oh, I'm pretty close. So anyway, yeah, so as I cross these borders. All right. I wonder, oh, yeah, so the nav function is good. I think, oh, because I've got all the status texts, like those pink texts for all the birds and butterflies, I need to turn that off. Let's just turn that off real quick. User interface, let's turn off status text. Or debug text, that's the one. Okay. Okay, so let's flip her back again. Brain, set to day. Brain, set to night. Let's see if she'll figure out a way around the grass. Oh, she tried to jump over it. Yeah, okay, so yeah, so the nav function is ignoring the grass for the most part, I think, or getting really confused by it. Because even though the grass is big like this, its collision box is really short, because I tried to make it as small as possible. It needed a collision box so that we could click them away. But normally, physics just lets you walk right through them, but there's a filter that's being skipped in this particular case of context. So that's what it is. Oh, I know what I can do. I can load the build wand and clear a path. So that's the normal size of a collision box for these. So she should be able to, if I do this, she should be able to get to... Alright. Let's just make sure. I don't remember exactly where the corner was, but we'll clear away the grass. Normally there'd be paths. Alright. Alright, let's try it again. Let's get her to face me. Cool. Never mind. Brain actions. Go back to daytime mode. Now let's flip you back to nighttime mode. Set night. Okay, so you should plot your path. I can see it scrolling down there. She's plotting a path. It's taking a while. Where are you trying to go? There. Oh. No, maybe she is trying to get over to that other corner. Maybe she's where she wants to be, in fact. Let's clear out all the grass and check where she's trying to go. Because it also seemed like she was trying to jump. Alright. I'm curious. Where are you trying to go? You've got me curious now. So set day. Set night. Okay. Plot your thing. Where are you going? Okay, so there it is. Working. Okay, so she's trying to go up. Are you going to jump up there? Why aren't you jumping up? Okay, so the physics forces for jumping may not be adequate, but I suspect she's trying to get over to this corner, maybe. Or she plotted a really strange way. Anyway, I'll have to debug that, but she's trying to do it, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, so neat. Alright, I think this is where I'm going to stop it. Thanks for joining, guys. I think this is a productive thing. We've got, like, so we're pretty close. Let's see. Let's look at the thing real quick. We've done this. It doesn't filter by house, but that's okay. That's easy to add. And so I need to do some more things. And so this is trying to do the thing. And, yeah, so thanks a lot, guys. Let me see if I can get this to work like it's supposed to. Come on. There it goes. Alright, so thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week to see. We'll just keep doing this. Maybe start adding bad guys next week. We'll see. Anyway, I appreciate it. Hope you have a productive week if you're working on something creative, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.